One of the joys, I guess, in the Trump administration hiring everyone based on loyalty as opposed to competence, and putting these incompetent fart huffers, Trump taint sniffers, into positions of incredible importance is that they do incredibly dumb things and they do them really publicly. And the latest example that we have of this is the current brand new prosecutor of the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindseay Halligan. Lindseay Halligan is a former insurance attorney who has never worked in criminal law, has never worked as a prosecutor, has never prosecuted or defended a criminal case, and now she's a United States attorney who is prosecuting James Comey and who is prosecuting Letitia James. Two cases which are bullshit on their face, and she brought those prosecutions because Donald Trump wanted these people prosecuted. And over, let's see, it's been about 9 days ago now. So first of all, there's a website called lawfaremedia.org. They do tremendous work. It's the Lawfare website. One of their absolutely fantastic reporters there is a woman named Anna Bower, Bower. And over the last week and a half or so, she has had multiple text exchanges with the new U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindseay Halligan. Reading from Anna Bower's article. It was 1:20 p.m. on the afternoon of Saturday, October 11th. I was lounging in my pajamas, idly scrolling through Netflix, having spent the morning reading news stories, occasionally tweeting and watching TV. It was a rare day off. Then my phone lit up with a notification. I glanced down at the message. Anna, Lindseay Halligan here, the new U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. Lindseay Halligan was texting me. As it turned out, she was texting me about a criminal case that she is pursuing about New York Attorney General Letitia James, one of the president's perceived political enemies. So began my 2-day text correspondence with the woman who President Donald Trump had installed in no small part to bring the very prosecution that she was now discussing with me by text message. She's discussing an ongoing prosecution with a reporter. The DOJ and U.S. attorneys do not do that. However, over the next 33 hours, Lindseay Halligan texted me again and again and again and again. Through the whole of our correspondence, however, there's something Halligan never said. She never said a word suggesting that these exchanges were off the record. And she never suggested that she was not on the record. It's not uncommon. My exchange with Halligan, however, was highly unusual in a number of respects. She initiated a conversation with me, a reporter she barely knew, to discuss an ongoing prosecution that she is personally handling. She mostly criticized my reporting, or more precisely, my summary of someone else's reporting. Anna Bower had tweeted a summary of somebody else's article about Lindseay Halligan and the Letitia James case. So she got 33 hours worth of text messages. Several of her messages contained language that touched on grand jury matters, which is confidential, even as she insisted that she could not reveal information about grand jury matters, which is protected from disclosure by prosecutors under federal law. As a legal journalist covering the Justice Department, I had never encountered anything quite like my exchange with Lindseay Halligan. Neither had my editor. Over the last several days, he and I spoke with multiple former federal officials and journalists who cover the justice system. None could recall a similar instance in which a sitting U.S. attorney reached out to chastise a reporter about matters concerning grand jury testimony in an active case. Justice Department spokeswoman Natalie Baldassare confirmed the authenticity of the texts at 4:30 p.m. yesterday, responding to my questions about the exchange with a statement that reads in its entirety, "You clearly did not get the response you wanted, which was information handed to you without having to dig into the facts of the case to craft a careful and truthful story. So you thought you would tattletale to Maine justice. Lindseay Halligan, she misspelled the word Lindsey, was attempting to point you to facts, not gossip. But when clarifying that she would adhere to the rule of law and not disclose grand jury information, you threatened to leak an entire conversation. Good luck ever getting anyone to talk to you when you publish their texts. That's a horribly written, structured sentence. After I reached out to the department for comment on Halligan's text, Halligan texted me yet again, for the first time in several days, insisting now that our entire correspondence had been off the record. Our full exchange linked below, and again, you can find this at lawfaremedia.org. It's quite a read. Allows readers to make their own judgments. She'd been texting Anna Bower on Signal with autodelete turned on, so that the delete function would delete all the messages. It's like all you got to do is screenshot them. She screenshotted them. They're all in this article. Point 1. Point 2. A U.S. attorney is text messaging a reporter from Signal with autodelete turned on while she's conducting official business. Using Signal, autodelete turned on would suggest that she's trying to avoid the creation of federal records. She's required to create federal records of her communications when she's conducting official business. Refusing to do so, or failing to do so, or setting up a mechanism by which you can avoid creating federal records while conducting official business is a crime. That's right, it's a crime. Lindseay Halligan has been on the job for less than a month. She indicted James Comey, she indicted Letitia James, and now she has committed possibly several federal crimes by texting a reporter. It just goes right back to Pete Hegseth and the Signal chat, and Pete Hegseth disseminating classified war plans to a group text thread on Signal that included another reporter from The Atlantic, I think it was Jeff Goldberg, screenshot, and then wrote a big article, a lot like this article. This is the most, you should go read the entire article. It's at lawfaremedia.org, written by Anna Bower, Bower. The text messages, the screenshots are wild. It's just wild. And this is what happens when you put objectively wildly incompetent people into these kinds of very important positions, and you hired them solely because they are loyal to you and will do whatever it is that you tell them to do, whether it's legal or not. This is insane.